All right, guys, what I want to do now is I want to create a route where we can get just the stories from a specific user. So I want to be able to go to stories slash user slash and then the user's ID. So let's go to our routes folder into our stories.js and let's put this, we'll put this near the top. Let's see. So we'll go right under show single story, or you can put it wherever you want. But let's say list stories from a user. So we'll say router.get, and the URL will be stories slash user slash, and then let's say user ID. All right, I'm using user ID just to you know, differentiate from the actual story ID. So let's pass in our arrow function, request and response, and we're just going to say story.find, and we want to pass in some curly braces, and we want to say where the user is equal to request.params.user ID. All right, and we also only want the public stories. Okay, we don't want to list the user's private stories. That's very important. So we'll say status should be public, and then we also want to populate the user data, and then we'll do our .then. All right, and that's going to give us all the stories. And then what we want to do is just res.render. Now we don't need a special view for this. We're just going to use the index view. So we'll say stories slash index. And we're going to pass in stories. All right, so let's go ahead and save that. And now let's see. So I think a good idea would be to link all of these right here to the user stories, okay, to that page. Now on the show page we have a link already that didn't work before, but it should now work. So if I click that, it'll go to stories, user, and then the ID. Okay, so now we're just seeing all of Brad's public stories. If we go to, let's say, John's post and say more from John, we see his stories. All right, but let's also link it to this here, this little chip. And we'll do it in the comments as well. Let's see, where's the one with the comment? So right here as well. So let's see, we'll go to our index route, our stories index. And let's go down to where we have our chip. And let's see, should we do it on, we'll just do it on the name. So right here, we'll wrap this, we'll say a href. And we just want to wrap the first and last name. And it's going to go to stories slash user slash, and then we want the user's ID. So we'll say user.id. All right, let's copy this link right here. We'll save and reload. And now we can link to the user's stories. All right, now let's do the comments. So the comments are on the show page. So let's go to show handlebars, go down to where we have the comments and the user's name, and we're gonna paste that link. Make sure it wraps around the first name and last name. Okay, so now we'll go to story 1 where we have a comment, and we should be able to click on, oh, what happened? Oh, we just need to change, it's not gonna be user ID, it's gonna be comment user ID. Okay, let's reload, try again, and there we go. So now we can list our user stories. Now I also want, I want to link, we actually already have it. If we log in our menu, we have this my stories, and it goes to stories slash my. So let's go ahead and create a route for that. So we're going to routes stories.js. Let's go right under the route we just created. And I'm actually going to copy this whole thing. So this will be, we'll just say logged in users stories. Okay, so it's going to go to /my, and then we want to find the story. We want to say we want the user to match request.user.id, and this is going to show all of the user stories. Okay, so it's just going to be public, public, private, and unpublished stories. And then let's see, I think we can just leave the rest. So we'll just go ahead and save that. And then let's go and reload. Okay, so we're getting this error because we're not logged in. Now this should be an ensured authenticated route, so let's make sure we add that as a second parameter. Okay, so now if we reload, it should just boot us out. So we'll log in. We'll go to My Stories, and there we go. So now we're just seeing all of our stories, all Brad's stories. All right, guys, so I think that is it for our initial application. Now, as I've said before, these applications, you may find something that should be added or changed or removed or something, because you can think of these as alpha applications. So if you find any issues, feel free to post it in the Q&A. If it's something that basically causes a huge security issue, or it breaks the application or something like that, then I might think about adding another video or two to the course to address it. Okay. Otherwise, then just feel free to experiment on your own, change some things up. The point of this course and these projects is not to have you build a project that you're going to put into production, but to show you how to do this stuff so you can create your own projects. All right, so in the next section, we're going to go ahead and we're going to deploy this application.